Okay, so in this chapter, Namaste friends, here we are in the process of discussing Bhagavad Gita with the medical aspect. So in this recording, we will discuss about the fertility or the reproduction in human beings, how life starts. It is described in Bhagavad Gita. You know, in today's era, so many people are suffering with the health issue called infertility. Even the modern lifestyle which we are following is also in not is also one of the leading cause of the infertility. Okay, so first of all we should know that how fertility happens, or what is the process of reproduction in human beings, or how life starts. Okay, modern science tells us that when the sperm and ovum get united, that gives or that get resulted in the birth or in the formation of the blastula or in the formation of the fetus. Okay, is this the final truth? You know, if we'll observe, if we'll observe, or if we'll do the supervision, or the if we'll do the hormonal testing of a lady, we'll observe that union of the sperm and ovum happens so many times. You know, maybe every period, every month, or in so many times. You know, but that doesn't result to the formation of the fetus. Okay, especially whenever in any case of infertility, whenever we are not able to find any physical, functional, or psychological causes of the infertility, the etiology is unknown. Why the couple is suffering from the infertility, the reason is unknown. Of course, we go ahead with the IVF, IUF, and so many modern technologies. They all the treatments the couple is undergoing. Still, the and the fertilization or the formation of the fetus doesn't happen. There is high failure rate of IVF and IUF, in vitro and in uterus fertilization. Okay, process. So what is that thing which is missing, or why we are not having high rate of success in all these infertility treatments? Okay, so the because only union of the only the fusion of the sperm and ovum is not sufficient for the birth of a baby, or for the birth or the formation of the fetus. Then what is needed? What is fundamental truth which is needed? Which is what is that process? Okay, or maybe material, maybe non-material. What is that process which is responsible for the fertility in the human beings, or which is responsible for the starting of the life? Bhagavad Gita tells us, मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भ दधाम्यहम् संभवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. Tato bhavati bharato. That means Bharata. Bharata is one of the name of Arjuna. Tato bhavati. Bhava to bhavati. Bhava is a Sanskrit word which is always described for the existence. Okay, I am there. No? To be, to bhava. So life starts, or I get existence, or everybody, every person get existence. Even sarva bhutanam, he is saying sambhavaha. There is possibility of sarva bhutanam. Okay, all everyone, each and every human being get existence because mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbha dadhamyaham. Each and every person get life here on this earth, or the baby or the fetus get formed when I put mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbha dadhami aham. I am giving that mahad brahma in that garbha avastha, in that blastula, dadhami aham. I am giving. Okay, I am putting this mahad brahma. It is a kind of a spiritual entity. Okay, so mahad brahma is a source of birth. Unless and until this mahad brahma enters in that union, or that single cell of which is a union of sperm and ovum, the life doesn't start. Okay, if the mahad brahma is not entering in that blastula avastha, in that fusion of sperm and ovum, the life doesn't start at all. Okay, when the mahad brahma enters, that means when the jivatma, or when that soul enters in that and who is giving that soul? who is giving this Mahat Brahma in Garbha or in blastula? God, Sri Krishna, or creator, anything you can give him name. So Mama Yonir Mahat Brahma, and that is my Yoni. Okay, Mahat Brahma is my source. I am putting my sources, my resources in the physical cell. That's the cell which is united with the help of sperm and union, sperm and ovum. So I put my resources in the Garbha Avastha, in the state of blastula. Okay, so and then life starts. So cause of birth is actually a union of Prakriti and Purusha. Okay, what is Prakriti? Prakriti is the union of sperm and ovum. Okay, so only Prakriti is not responsible for the starting of the birth. Okay, when the one sperm with the 23 chromosomes, another single cell, what is called as a ovum with the 23 chromosomes, when they unite with each other, that is a Prakriti. Okay, or that is a material thing. And along with that, we need something called as a Mahat Brahman. We need something called as a Purusha. When Prakriti and when all this combination get place, or all this Prakriti Purusha get or get united, that time the fetus or the life starts. So only union of sperm and ovum is not a cause of the starting of the life. With the Prakriti, with this sperm and ovum, Purusha also has to enter Mahat Brahman, or that Mandukya Upanishad says that this Mahat Brahma, this Purusha, Sankhya Yoga or Sankhya Darshan says give it name as a Purusha. Bhagavad Gita gives it name as a Mahat Brahman. Mandukya Upanishad gives him name as a Mahat. Okay, so different names has been given to the same spiritual entity. So this Mahat Brahman, or something called as a Mahat or Purusha, when get united with the Prakriti, or the fusion of the sperm and ovum, that time life starts. Okay, so this Mahat Brahman or Mahat is consisting of three gunas, or it is something called as a Apara Prakriti. Okay, in some another context of in Bhagavad Gita itself, it has given the name as a Apara Prakriti or Jivatma, or the lower energy. Okay, and we had again in previous sessions of spiritual anatomy and physiology, we discussed that there is para prakriti, there is apara prakriti, and it contains the 24 basic elements. With that helps the life starts, or the fetus starts developing. Okay, so union of this apara and para prakriti, union of this prakriti and purusha is God's will, is under God control and not under the human control. Okay, we can only do with the help of IVF and IUF, we can only do the fusion of the sperm and ovum. That means we can form only Prakriti. The entry of Purusha in that Prakriti is not in human control, is under the God's control. We can try for that. We cannot assure 100% that now I am whenever I am putting this Prakriti, I am making this sperm and ovum united, I am forming a blastula state, or I am making the blastula state, and now the life will start. No doctor can give you 100% assurance of this. Okay, they just can try it. Okay, so when this Prakriti and Purusha get unite with each other, at that time life starts. I will give you an example here. With that, this concept will be more clear. Female, if you have observed any time in the nature, female Scorpio delivers eggs in the rice grains. You know, wherever there is a storage centers, or there is a lot of the rice grain centers are storage centers are there, you will find that female Scorpio delivers the eggs, Scorpio eggs, in the rice grains. But what it is said, that we feel that Scorpio is born due to or in the rice grains. Okay, but is that the truth? Does the rice grains give rise to Scorpio eggs or Scorpio? What is observed externally, that Scorpio get birth in that rice grain, and Scorpios are coming out from that grains, or then that packets of grains. Okay, but that is not the fact. The fact is that female Scorpio enters in that rice grains, or in that large quantity of rice grains, and then it delivers the eggs. No, and this phenomenon or this event is not observed. Okay, so the female Scorpio enters in that rice grains, delivers the eggs, and then the baby Scorpios get birth. And what is observed, that baby Scorpios are coming out from the rice grains. So generally it is said that rice gives birth to the baby Scorpios, but that is limited knowledge. That this is the ignorance, because rice cannot give birth to the Scorpios. Okay, so the truth is that rice is not the creator, or rice cannot give birth to the Scorpios. It is a female Scorpio which enters in the grain and delivers the eggs. But this entry of female Scorpio in the rice grains and delivering the eggs in that rice grain is not observed. This is a very minute phenomenon. This is a very minute process, minute event. This is not observed, that when it is entering, when the female Scorpio is entering, when she is delivering, it is not observed. So like that, even the fusion of the sperm and ovum is also not observed. It is externally, we cannot observe. Okay, even by a lot of modern equipments also we cannot observe that at which moment the sperm and ovum has got united. Okay, even that, this is the union of the Prakriti. The formation of the Prakriti is also not observed. Then the entry of Purusha in that Prakriti is not observed at all. We cannot observe. We don't have that resources to observe all these things. We don't have that tools to keep on observing the entry of Purusha, and it is beyond the human control. Okay, so Apara Prakriti, that is a union of sperm and ovum, is not the creator of a jiva, or is not a creator of the life. God put Purusha, or God put Mahat, Apara Prakriti, like female Scorpio. As the female Scorpio is giving the eggs or delivering the eggs in the rice grains, God put the Purusha, or God put the Mahat Brahman in that formation of the sperm and the union cell of the sperm and ovum, and then life starts. Okay, so here we have described, and this is a cause of, and then we should know that we should pray for God. You know, you'll observe the couple who is facing the infertility issue from years, from 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You know, they have tried all the treatments, they have tried everything. Okay, then we should think that why God is not allowing the entry of Purusha in the cell which is formed by IVF or IUF. Okay, so then the reasons are in the karmas. Okay, get rid of your karmas, try to burn your karmas, try to get rid of your previous homeworks of your previous birth or some kind of the things. Even Ayurveda says that the causes of infertility, few causes of infertility is lying in your past births. So like autoimmunity, like cancerous pathologies, infertility also can be dealt with the help of Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. Okay. Of course, few infertility or few cases of infertility, you will find the physical causes, structural causes, okay, or some functional causes, some hormonal imbalance. Okay, that can be treated by all the treatments. But few cases of infertility has to be treated with the karmic solutions or with the help of Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. Thank you very much. Here I will again stop my recordings.